Hey there, ADPI, Mark Yansich here. It happens often that when there's a post about whole life insurance, or what we like to call the cash flow accelerator, that it does get a lot of negative comments, or just it really enrages some people, and that's fine. I understand, and here's why I understand: because crappy versions of whole life policies have been sold in a predatory way too much out there. I mean, it's just a fact. There's too many whole life policies that are structured in such a way to maximize the commissions for those that sell it, the agents, and not to serve as, for lack of a better term, like basically like a savings account. So at ADPI, I got interested in this like over 3 years ago because I wanted to figure out a way to for the liquidity that I have, my cash that I hold, that I know that I don't want to spend, and I want to have it available and deployable in a moment's notice, essentially. I wanted to have a savings account for it, but I didn't want a regular savings account. And I discovered this, which is whole life insurance, as a way where I can build an asset for my family and borrow against it tax-free, have it grow regardless of what's going on in the market tax-free, and basically use it to borrow against it to then buy more assets that are cash flowing, let's say a rental property, and then have the rental property pay it off, and then rinse and repeat and keep doing that. I mean, that's literally the gist of it. That's all. Like, that was the initial thought process, right? I've since then found more benefits and all this kind of stuff, but we started a company, ADPI Insurance, and Derek Morell is our lead sales and insurance agent there. And it's been awesome, and we've served so many ADPI members, and it's honestly, it's a fantastic opportunity. But here's what I will say, and this is where I think a lot of individuals, that they see that we do this, they jump to the conclusion that we're trying to sell everybody on this. Let me tell you right now, we are not saying that this is for everybody. If you do not have your financial house in order, if you do not have like a reserve account, if you don't have the strategy for what you're going to do with said whole life potential, like a potential whole life policy, if you don't have the strategy mapped out, what you're going to do with it, then this isn't for you. Like, this is for the individuals that have a reserve account. This is for the individuals that know what they're going to do. Sorry, I want to make sure my kids aren't going to stumble out here. This is for the individuals that know what they're going to do with it. Like, that's actually such an important piece, because if you just get a whole life policy and you put a bunch of cash into it and your cash value is growing and it's awesome, but you don't actually use it, you would be better off putting it into the stock market or an IRA or something like that. That is a fact. And so that's why this is not an investment. Let me foot stomp that. This is not an investment. All this is a tool that will help you accelerate your acquisition of assets, like real estate or businesses or whatever else you want to buy or invest in. This is not the investment itself. And so again, ADPI is not saying this is for everybody. I think one of the if I'm going to try to paint an avatar of an individual that this fits for, it's somebody that knows how they're going to use it. Like let's say what kind of real estate they're going to buy and invest in once they have this policy. Somebody who has stable income outside of, the investments that this policy is going to be helping them acquire, and somebody who has a reserve account that they don't foresee themselves needing to touch the full 100% of it for at least about 4 years. And the reason I say that is because when you first plunk down a chunk of change into a whole life policy, only about I would say after like year 1 or 2, only about 90% of it becomes accessible cash value. And then after about 4 or 5 years, 100% of what you put into it becomes available as cash value. So you have to be okay with a little bit of a time delay, because there is a little bit of a haircut that goes towards, structuring the policy, the mutual company, the insurance agent, and and basically paying for all the benefits that it provides, right? One of those benefits, for example, is it's invisible to, let's say, FAFSA when you are applying for, financial aid for your kids to go to college, for example. And again, it grows tax-free. It has a floor. It'll never go into the negatives. We talk about compound interest a lot. And everybody that's interested in finances and investing, one of the biggest things is compound interest. Well, guess what? Compound interest only works, and this is what a lot of people don't talk about, only works if you never have a negative year. Because if you do have a negative year, you get set back decades maybe. And so compound interest only works if every single year is compounding with a positive interest rate. Your ROI is positive every single year. Otherwise, the great example is, hey, if you have $100,000, if in 1 year you have 100% growth, boom, you have $200,000. Now the next year, if you have 50% negative growth, guess where you're at? You're back at $100,000. You haven't made anything. And so that's the problem. Is like you're not really compounding unless you're having positive interest rate growth every single year. And if you're contributing every single year, that's another element there, but I digress. One more thing. With how we do policies, we want to make sure that nobody thinks that this is like the main thing that you need to do when you set off on your real estate journey. The main thing is you need to get comfortable with taking action and buying pieces of America that cash flow, whether it's single family investing or multifamily. And then, like I said, if you're the right person and you have you have a reserve account and you want to make it into an asset as well that you can leverage against and buy more real estate, then this is then you can use this. And actually, the last thing, I see people commenting about this, and it's kind of weird. People say like, "Oh, I didn't realize that that y'all are only trying to help high net worth individuals." That's not it. This group is actually, it's not about thinking small. It's about thinking big. If you're joining ADPI, even if you're still active duty military, like the whole point is for you to figure out how to increase your net worth, how to become a high net worth individual, how to create more income, how to create more cash flow. And not saying that in a gimmicky way or a get rich quick scheme kind of way. No, like the tried and true common person's way of getting there through real estate, through smart investing, through, but also to do it in such a way where you don't have to just be like, exceedingly frugal. Like frugality is a good virtue, but like not being to where like you're afraid to have an avocado toast every now and then or your Starbucks coffee. Like figuring out how to create cash flow so that so that your lifestyle can increase, like be better, or at least not diminish as time goes by. Because I know one of my biggest struggles was early on, the reason why I discovered real estate, I was like, wait a second, so the more money I make, if my whole philosophy for saving up for retirement is literally just saving, I will always feel like I'll need to, like every single dollar will always be a question mark in my head. Should I save this? Should I put it into stocks, or can I use this? Can I go have fun with this dollar, right? Whereas for real estate investors who focus on buy and hold and cash flow, you buy these investments that then make you money every single month, and they are the long-term investment, right? Their principal reduction, their appreciation, and all the benefits that real estate brings to you, that's the long-term play. But the short-term play, the immediate play, the thing you feel all the time is the cash flow that it brings every single month, right? That thing is if you get more and more real estate properties, and you get more and more cash flow every single month, your lifestyle every single month will be enhanced, right? And so when somebody comes out and says like, oh, I didn't realize that, like, it's like this war against wealthy people. Like, no, like ADPI is about trying to break through that mindset. It's okay to want to be wealthy. It's okay to want to build businesses. It's okay to want to own a lot of America and create more income for yourself. It's okay. It was actually a mental struggle for me early on. I was like, is it okay for me to be a Marine Corps officer and also want to make more income? It seemed almost like, am I distracting myself? Is that, well, look, we swore to defend this country. So why not take advantage of the amazing opportunities it provides us, right? And why not own as much of real estate of American real estate that can provide for our family generationally, and create a spark of like education and inspiration for future generations to think about things the same way, not be scarcity minded, So anyways, hopefully that makes sense. I know it's just a lot, but really, look, if I'm going to foot stomp one last time, we're not saying that whole life is for everybody, but we do want to at least expose our group to the fact that this thing exists and that we do it the right way. And if you're interested and if you think you're the right person for it, reach out, adpiinsurance.com. rest assured, we're not trying to like sell this to every single military member. That's not the point at all. But anyways, Mark Jancic is out. Thank you so much. Take care.